Hey everyone, it's Tiqqle, and we are back from Blizzcon, starting up those streams at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single day. We'll see you on Twitch, link down below. But we're back. We were at the Blizzcon. We had a great time. We saw a lot of new games announced: Diablo 4, Overwatch 2, and Shadowlands. I'm very excited about Shadowlands, especially because I was in that deep dive. And I know I haven't posted a video about it, but there's a lot of things they're talking about. And of course, it's just talk. We don't know all the things that are going to be part of the X-Pack, but I'm very excited. Very, very, very excited. Why, you might ask? Well, it looks like they're looking to specifically address and change things, tune things almost, in terms of the game to hit specific things that have been called out by players. Like, for example, bringing back class abilities, unpruning, making your character more class-centric instead of just a spec, which will mean more abilities, maybe more complexity. That is just some of it, though. I mean, they've done things like they said that they don't want AP farming. They said a lot. Don't want to go over everything in this video. This video is going to be about what my most anticipated feature is that's coming out as part of Shadowlands. They announced it. They went into a little bit of depth in the deep dive, but they haven't said a whole too much about how it's going to work exactly. But my most favorite part of the X-Pack that I think will be the best part of content and the most fun will be the tower. Now, the tower, you might ask, what are you talking about? Well, I think it might be the tower that ends up being on the opposite side of Ice Crown in the Shadowlands. But it's basically what I was hoping for from the Island Expeditions going to BFA. If you've been following me for some time, you know that I wanted those islands to be incredible. I was actually talking to Stoops at BlizzCon. He also said that was the most hyped thing that he felt. Like, it's crazy how good that could have been, but then there was a lot of things that made it not so good. Why wasn't it good, Tiqqle? Why aren't islands good? Well, it doesn't give you any useful drops, really. Only cosmetic things. The cosmetic things don't even drop that often. They removed it, so it's just kind of grinding and farming out the mobs. There's no real thought. You don't have to think at all. You just kind of kill. It's not like you have to do anything other than targeting rares. So it's a little bit of a bummer. And we'll get into the end. At the end of this video, we'll hit on a few things why I think there's going to be different. But number one, the tower. And so now that I've kind of put that into perspective of what my most anticipated part is, why? Well, here's the thing. They go and I'll let the talk kind of happen in the background, but they said it's a dynamic experience. It can be from a single player experience to a 4-player experience, which is also very cool. It's nice that you'll be able to do something alone in terms of like a single player type RPG game, which usually WoW doesn't really allow you to do ever. Well, what can you do that's significant that you can kind of do alone? So if it can scale by yourself, okay, that's pretty cool. You don't have to worry about other people, whatever. Or it goes up to 4 people, and they didn't say if there needs to be a tank, a healer, DPS, which is also an interesting fact. They didn't note that. Because it's 4 as well, it's not 5, so maybe you don't need the trifecta of healer, tank, DPS, which is a cool thing. But the reason I think this will be so nice is because it's going to be randomly generated. Oh, there it is right there. Oh, I guess it is 1 to 5. It's randomly generated. It's going to grow in power as you go up floors, almost like some anime, yeah. And it's going to have abilities that you're going to be able to lock and kind of create a build as you do a playthrough. And I kind of look at this to be something like, like, for example, the TFT games, I forget what they're called, the auto chess games. As the game kind of goes on, you're building a build, things change, you get new cards or abilities that come into the flow, and you start to create this build throughout kind of playing that game. Obviously, that's way different, but it's kind of what I like about it is it looks like you're going to be able to have builds, and that will be unique to your experience up the tower. Now, they don't say if it's random every single time you go in or if it's every week or, because the islands, for example, are random, but there's a certain set that happen every week. So they didn't really go into that, but that's okay. So floors are built to encourage exploration. Very freaking cool. That is really nice because that means you're meant to kind of go look around, see what's up, go over here, over there, maybe a trap. I think of these almost like Diablo 3 level layouts. Like they're RNG created. There's mobs around, different challenges here, different challenges there. They mentioned it's not timed, which is an interesting thing to call out because a lot of Mythic Plus, Essence is into like clearing stuff now, is how fast do you do it in terms of PvE stuff. but this is not timed, which means you can take your time. It means you can explore. That's kind of a cool little flavorful thing. And then the next one is always be climbing the tower, but maybe take your time to hunt for anima. So it looks like the anima currency or what you can grind will be able to be spent or used. Kind of like almost like binding for Isaac almost, if you think about that as you're kind of going through things. Now this is what I think is going to be really cool. As you're going along, maybe you'll be able to find a vendor, or you'll at the end of a certain level, they'll be, okay, now you can spend them, and they give you a certain set of options. We don't know how many options. We don't know when you get these things. Maybe it's loot, probably not because of how this looks. And they're going to be able to do things like tanking, DPS, probably healing. I don't know if I saw a healing one ever, or healing. So that's really cool. And then they start to be able to play together. They start to mention deeper in the talk about how maybe you get something that adds poison damage, and then you get another one that says on poison damage, yeah, your chance have a chance to curse the target, dealing shadow damage. And then later he gets one that is based on the shadow damage dealt, has chance to blind the target. That feels very much to me like a Diablo 3 type buff you're going to be getting as you're clearing levels. I'd be very curious to know if there's going to be some if that's where this is coming from, is like Diablo 3 clearing of levels. Oh, now we're going to do this on levels in, WoW. But either way, I think that is what's going to be really cool and hopefully a repeat factor. Now, you might say, Tiqqle, yeah, but what are you going to get? Well, what they said is you're going to be working towards legendaries. Legendary system will be back. That system, in some way, shape, or form, we don't know exactly what. It sounds like it will be for multiple slots, but it does sound like you're going to be able to choose potentially secondary stats and the ability or whatever the legendary does for you. And they've said that crafting is going to now include the gems of the stats you want in the crafting of the piece of gear that gives you the secondary stats. Like, whoa. And that's a theme that I really, really, really like about so far, about what they've said about the X-Pack. Looks like Shadowlands is going to give you more command to make decisions and pick things. I think they have realized they've gone overboard with the randomness, and that is totally okay. Like, I get it. BFA was so RNG. It was very frustrating, especially because Azurite pieces, you might do a dungeon, you get the piece, it was only one drop, and then later you're like, oh, should I disenchant this or should I hold it? You disenchant it. Now all of a sudden they come out with a tuning patch. The tuning patch changes everything. Oh, I needed it. So you have to farm it again. It's just kind of crazy. But this is going to be awesome. I think the replay factor should be good. As long as the rewards are worth it, then I think it's going to be great, great, great. I really do. The problem will be if the rewards are poo-poo. If the rewards end up not being that good, or legendaries are fast to farm, and these runes, for example, aren't worth it, then it won't be worth it. And it won't be a lot of fun because people don't do things unless there's at least some type of benefit out of it, or working towards something on a long path. But I do think it could be a lot of fun. I do wish there was some type of other drops that you could be getting from it, but that's all we really know so far. But it does seem more. Oh, there's Stoops. Oh, mega lol. Wow. But anyway, with that being said, that's it. And so why do I think it's going to be different than Islands? Islands were done for just AP. Couldn't get anything else. People have grinded them for hours and hours and hours testing that out. Guess what? It's not worth it. It doesn't give you anything. If this gives you legendaries, and this is the only way to get legendaries, okay. But if it's the way to get legendaries, if it's fun, if you get dynamic builds and have a good time, I think that's what will make it worth it. Also, if it's challenging. If it's challenging, it will be obviously different than Islands. And yeah. The other thing here is they haven't talked about the AI in the dungeon, but it sounds like it's just going to be normal mobs. The whole island AI thing isn't coming into play, which was kind of like red herring anyway, because that didn't really affect islands. But yeah, so that's what I think, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I think this tower, this whole piece of content on the tower is going to be awesome to be doing on stream with you guys. Just whoever, let's go make builds. Let's go run through some floors. Easy. We'll work towards legendaries. La-di-da-di-da. I do hope there are some other benefits than just legendaries, but we'll have to see. Right now, that's very fresh. We only know so much about the X-Pack, but yeah. So let me know down in the comments below what your favorite part of the X-Pack will be so far. Obviously, we don't know that much, but I would love to know what you think. Put it down in the comments. We're going to make some more videos about everything that's been going on. There is so much to talk about, and we're just getting started. So with that being said, we'll see you on the stream, Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. A look down in the description. Thank you guys so much for the support. The BlizzCon experience was insane. I met so many of you. You guys are awesome. We will see you there maybe next year. See you later, guys. Bye now.